Yo, what's going on, people? My name is Jericho. Welcome back to another Real Talk video. That's right, check out what I got, though. I got a golden scorpion. I've been wanting a golden scorpion since Call of Duty 4 came out, and I started playing back in, like, 2008. Oh, my God. It's like a childhood dream come true. And yeah, I got it legit. Your boy ain't no boosting bitch. So today, you know, I only do these when I get the urge, and today's an interesting one because it's kind of different. It's not as positive as the other ones. It's the exact opposite. It's negative. It's actually not negative at all. But hey, the last couple days have both been like super awesome and super bleh for a variety of reasons, and I will talk about them in a minute here. All right, the first way that it was great was, I don't know why, but I just had a good day one day. Like, I woke up, went to the gym, felt good about that, had a delicious smoothie of sorts. I felt good about that. I edited 2 videos that day, and all of them went over really well in the future. And I recorded a video that day, which I don't normally do that much work, but I was feeling it. Cleaned my fucking house, then had a good stream, then I had good food. And it was like, wow. Today's a good day, and tonight's a good night. So I ended up hanging out watching Black Mirror, which I had not seen before, and started out watching Season 3, Episode 2, which is the VR one. That was great to watch before bed. But all in all, I was like, damn, I woke up the next morning, I was like, fuck, that was a good day. Like, you know, felt pretty good about that. Nothing in particular stood out. It was just like everything went my way. Fast forward to the next day, like midday, I was like, today's gonna be another good day. I got a bunch of meetings done. I had a really good meeting with the people that, you know, domain, like, squatters, people who buy, like, very cool, like, and useful domain names, like fashion.com and shit like that. They have those for social media too, and so I met the people that have, like, @gaming on Instagram and Twitter, and like you know, @technology. It's just like, how do you even get those? But hey, they had them, just really cool conversation on what they were looking to do, and maybe if I could help. And I was like, fuck, I'm valuable, guys. I felt really good about that too. Get home, stream sucked dick. I don't know what it was. I, like, sat home, or went home, sat at my computer, booted up stream, felt good, and like an hour in, I was like, I'm not feeling any of this. So I don't know, and all of a sudden something fucking flipped. And it's weird because you know me, I'm very positive. I'm always the glass half full kind of guy. Even when it's not a fucking situation that can have a positive ending, it's like you gotta find the silver lining, or at least find something that's a benefit, right? And it's weird for me to be experiencing something where, out of the blue, for no reason, I was just not feeling great. It wasn't like sadness, it was just like, huh. And that's not normal. And so I thought about it all, like, you know, I ended stream, and I ended up thinking about it for a bit, and you know, I went and did some fucking home shopping. You know your life's going well when you go and you buy some shit for the shelves, right? Bought like a little turtle thing that has like a storage compartment, and I bought some like square wire cubes for decoration. It was great. It was outstanding. I like them. They look good. And I bought a record player, which is super dope. And so, like, all these things, I was like, cool, thought about it, and I was like, man, it's kind of okay to feel bleh once in a while. I feel like almost being unwaveringly positive can be detrimental almost. Where if you're just nothing but happy and positive all the time, and I'm not saying happy as in, like, every day you wake up bursting with love for the world and your heart feels like it's on fire and you're like, I'm gonna nut just by being alive. Like, no, I just mean content. That's almost a detrimental thing. So I thought about it, and I was like, you know, I'm actually kind of glad that I had an off day. Things have been going really well recently. And after coming out of like a little slump, I feel like the last month or so has been stupid fun. Just nothing but good experiences one after the other. And I kind of forgot what it was like to sit down, have a bad day at work, or have a bad day overall, and have to work through it. And I was a little disappointed in myself. I was a little disappointed that I didn't force through, or like fight through it, get, you know, do something to get my energy levels up. Like, what a flashbang. I'm turning around like, no, don't do it. This isn't Counter-Strike. But, you know, I felt disappointed in myself for the way I handled it. And I was like, shit. You know, old Tucker being like, you know, a year ago, would have sat down, would have said like, give me a minute, guys, walked out, like punched himself in the stomach and been like, let's do this. And I was like, why didn't I do that? And it made me think back on not only how I felt at the time, but being okay with feeling like that. And I was like, man, yeah, it's actually okay to have down times every now and then. to make yourself have a challenge, to fight through something, to work through a problem, to tell yourself that you can continue to operate even when you're not at 100%, because those are all valuable things for keeping your motivation up. Those are all things that feed into your ability to wake up in the morning and go, oh, I feel fine today. I mean, I did it yesterday when I had the shits and I didn't eat for a day and I felt horrible, but like I managed to do it, so like I can do it today. At least that's the way my brain works. And I was like, I've spent a lot of time I spent a lot of time in the last 5 years of my life meeting a lot of people who deal with things on their own in different ways. They have depression, or they don't have depression, but they have bipolar disorder. They have, seasonal depression, so it's not full blown, but it happens during specific times of the year. And it's like everybody kind of has their own way to go through these things, but the one thing that I felt I always lacked was the ability to empathize for, just having a bad day. So I had a couple friends come out to me and they're like, dude, what the fuck happened today? I just kind of like sat on the floor and I was like, you know what? Sitting on the floor is kind of nice every now and then. Nobody saw that grenade, all right? Sitting on the floor and just staring at a wall, for an hour, like that's okay. I know that kind of seems weird, and when I first got introduced to people that dealt with things like that, I was like, that's stupid. You're not accomplishing anything. Like, you're not moving towards a fix or a goal. You're not actively trying to stop yourself from feeling like shit. And then I was like, oh, if you're like me and you don't necessarily get to experience this feeling, and I'm not saying this in oh yeah, I love feeling bad, but you don't necessarily get to experience this feeling of sadness or defeat or whatever often. Sometimes, and I mean sometimes, not every time, it feels good to wallow in your own self-pity. And that's all right in my book. I understand. That's okay. And it's been looked down on for understandable reasons, and I must say I'm part of the reason why that, I have that mindset where if you're not actively searching for a way to solve, your problem, then you're not doing anything at all. You're not doing anything useful. You're not working to fix the problem, and you're not gonna get out of that slump. But then there's the other side of it that, like I said at the start, that I realize it's shit, you don't have any you can't juxtapose your feelings of 100% satisfaction or I guess being comfortable in your situation with the non-existent feelings of your sadness and defeat and just being like, I'm not feeling it today. Juxtapose means compare, by the way. It's like taking two things and laying them side by side. So if you only have positive experiences, you're not going to be able to empathize with anybody or anything that might not be having a stellar day or having a content day. They may just feel bad for some reason. And so when you're given the opportunity to really experience that, and you have the opportunity to, without significant repercussions, sit down and mope a little bit and kind of get a feel for how that is, that's good. And even if you get that feeling often, it's still okay to every now and then not beat yourself up over the fact that you feel like that for no reason. The brain's a weird thing. Nobody pretends, or nobody should pretend to know how to fix anything involving depression or just feeling off one day. Because when it gets down to it, it's just everybody's different. But I guess I'm just saying it's kind of nice to have the opposite side of the spectrum for once be presented to you in a way where you can't say no. Instead of having somebody come to you and say, this is how I feel. I'm feeling down. I'm feeling blah. I don't know what's going on. Everything went great today. And then I feel bad now because I don't feel good. And you're like, what the fuck? I mean, I get it, but the fuck? You're just beating yourself up over nothing. When it actually happens to you and you're like, oh. Gives you a better understanding and appreciation for not only feeling good, but also dealing with that in the future with other people. It's kind of like you don't ever take for granted the fact that you can breathe out of your nose until you're sick, right? And you're like, what the fuck happened? I will praise an altar if you give me 30 minutes of non-stuffed up nostril breathing right now. Right now, I will build an altar to my nose. If you don't have that negative experience, you're never going to appreciate it, having the ability to breathe to the fullest. I'm not saying that every day I wake up and I'm like, remember that time I was sick and I'm just like, oh God, I can breathe now. I mean, some random time once a month, you might go, oh, I'm really thankful I feel good today. And I don't feel like that shitty person that I was. It might happen at random. It happened to me today. I was just like, wow, I feel pretty good today. That's kind of nice, that's dope. Every day I don't necessarily feel like this. So I'm happy to experience that. This was a ramble and a half. Yo, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate you guys sitting through all this stuff. I guess the TLDR at the very end of the video that nobody's gonna skip to is, it's okay to feel like shit. And don't beat yourself up over it if you want to take some time to sit down and mope once in a while. Also, don't let people shit on you if you want to mope once a week or whatever. Don't let it consume you. Don't let it be the only thing you experience, because it's nice to be happy once in a while, just like it's nice to be sad once in a while. You know, don't take for granted all the good days, but you don't have to sit there and reflect for an hour every time you have a good experience and be like, I'm really appreciating this as much as Gandhi would want me to, or whomever. So don't beat yourself up, man. Let your emotions do their thing. Sometimes it's fun to mope. Sometimes it's not fun to mope. I think that overall you guys get what I'm saying. I'm gonna cut this. This is bad. This is, oh God, it's like the end of an essay and you can't tie it up. In conclusion, Shakespeare's a dick.